Oftentimes we can find ourselves racing forward. And the race forward might be in our thoughts. It might be in our physical actions to get something done. There's value in learning to rest back. And from the resting back, we can rise. Bring your hands to your heart in Anjali Mudra, offering gratitude for your willingness to practice. Because the practice is a form of resting back in our own state of being. And then release your hands and open your eyes. All right, so cross your right leg over your left. I am teaching right, left. I'm practicing right, left. So I might look opposite of you. Just follow the cues and practice right, left. With your right leg crossed over your left, take your left hand and put one finger between each toe. So when we race forward, we're going to open our feet at the class. Bend your forefoot forward and back. Yeah, so you thread your fingers between your toes. You're bending your forefoot forward and back. Keep that going. And racing forward often involves the feet. The feet have to be really open for you to dash across a parking lot in heavy rain. Now hold the ankle still and rotate your forefoot, turning your forefoot like that. Yeah, but not from the ankle. Hold the ankle steady. Turn the bones of the foot. Good. Breathe. And now open your fingers up and take them out of your toes. Grab the two edges of your foot, the big toe edge and the baby toe edge, and just twist. So you're still kind of holding the ankle steady on its own, but rotating quickly the forefoot while you pull apart the big toe and the baby toe. You're broadening the foot and then adding a little rotation. All right, squeeze your foot. Now take your hands to your foot and you're just like squeezing it and palpating your foot. Get all the way to the heel and cup your heel. Today's practice has a lot to do with the heel, its relation to your skull. So we want to wake up our connection to our heel. So squeeze all edges, like work all around to the perimeter and even up the back of the heel towards the Achilles tendon. Go kind of tenderly as you move up through tissue that gets softer. There's some soft spots right in between the bone of the heel, yeah, the behind the ankle. And then as you move up into the denser tissue of the muscles as they thicken and form into the lower leg. So just keep cupping the heel and working up the Achilles. Clap your foot, pound your foot, rub it, and we'll take a stand just to feet. So push with your feet, let your arms dangle, be on the edge of your seat, and rise. And then stand and feel your right heel compared to your left. You may feel that you have more ground that you're noticing underneath the right heel. Maybe your right heel feels broader and spread out, like there's something down there. Maybe your point of contact on the left side feels small, right? Like it's barely there. And then in addition to noticing how the heel is contacting the earth at this point, right to left, and the difference between the two, also feel what's happening up through the leg and into the pelvis on the right side versus the left side. The right thigh bone may be sitting back a little bit more. And even if you touch the right and left side of the pelvis, you may feel like denser tissue in the front of the pelvis and softer settling back tissue at the right hip joint in the front body, right where the pelvis meets the leg. All right, let's have a seat again and do the second side. So I led the witness in those answers, hoping you felt what you felt. As you cross your left leg over your right, put your fingers between your toes. Hold on to your left ankle with your left hand. And now just from the left forefoot, bend the left forefoot forward and back. So we're articulating through the foot. Now twist the foot. So the ankle staying steady and you're rotating the bones of the foot down and up. I know many of you know this footwork. We've been doing it for years. My hope is that you do this footwork every day. That's why I don't teach it every class. I'm always hoping that you are practicing it before class starts. All right, hold your fingers steady, hold the foot steady, and then spread your fingers out. And with your fingers spread, slide your fingers out between your toes. Take your hands now. One hand holds the baby toe ball joint. Your other hand holds the big toe ball joint. And then pull them apart. Go easy, but you're trying to stretch them and broaden the foot. And then add rotation through that broadness. So pulling big toe in one direction, baby toe in the other, away from each other. And then adding a little bit of a turn. So big toe will go up to the sky a little bit more than baby toe. They're taking their turns, working towards the ceiling. Down, up, down, up, down, up each side, almost like a seesaw. All right, start squeezing your foot now. So working at the top of the foot through the arch, and you're just palpating and squeezing your foot. Eventually work your way down to your heel, and we'll spend quite a bit of time here at the heel. So just cup the heel. First, just start by working around the edge of it and squeezing and releasing the heel. You can work the edge of the heel that comes to meet the arch of the foot too. You can work a thumb across that or knuckles, right? So we're opening up the tissue. And as you continue to work on your heel, cupping, stroking, rubbing, go up the back of the heel, up the Achilles tendon into the calf. And again, there's kind of that soft spot where you'll feel in the back body, the denseness of the Achilles tendon, but the softness that's just at the ankle joint. There's like a very tender spot, right? As you rise to meet the tissue of the calf muscles, the gastroc and the soleus and tibialis posterior and anterior. There's a whole slew of them in there. So go tender, you know, be kind. A couple more swipes around the heel, cupping, stroking, squeezing, releasing. All right, and then let's clap our foot. Pound the foot, rub it. And put your feet on the ground. Come to the edge of your chair, let your arms dangle, push with your feet and rise. And let's just feel. Yeah, we've got two heels back there. So the coolest thing is that the base of the skull actually lines up with the heel. Reach your arms up. It actually lines up with the sacrum. And then the heel is the furthest bone back, but oftentimes our head is too far forward. So if you haven't reached up with me, we reached up big, bend your elbows and bring your hands to the base of your skull. Thread your fingers together at the base of your skull and just press your head back. Try not to lift your chin to press your head back, just press your head straight back. And when you press your head back, straight back into your hands, what you'll feel is hopefully some tone through the upper back. Right, so the upper back muscles that hold you erect, that keep you upright, should tone as your head comes into alignment with your pelvis, your sacrum, and then the heel knows that it has a job to be the furthest bone back in the body to support the head. So the heel is behind the head. All right, release your arms down. Inhale, take a big breath up. Open your arms out to a T. Bring your right arm into the middle, left arm underneath. And if your arms are apart, that's fine. You can bring your arms as close together as possible by squeezing the forearms together. If they wrap and twist, interesting. Breathe. On your next breath, open your arms out wide. Bring your left arm in, right arm underneath. And again, if the arms are apart, not a big deal. It's perfect there too. Keep the elbows crossed and try to squeeze the arms towards one another. Breathe. Open your arms out wide, release your arms down by your side, big breath up. Take your arms out to a T and then clasp your hands behind your back. So arms are going into the back plane. I just turned around to show you. Holding your hands clasped behind you. It's a hard word, clasped, you know, to get that P in there. Clasped, try it. See how much you have to really work the tongue and the lips to get all the sounds. Clasped. So keeping your hands clasped, lift up through your heart, and then release your arms down by your side. All right, take your chair to the top of your mat and walk back for L pose. Bend your knees, Root into your heels, and they're awake. Your heels are awake. They're sensing, right? They can sense the earth a little bit better now. So as you wade into your heels and keep your knees bent, fan out your toes. With your toes spreading, lift your sitting bones up to the sky, yet still keep your belly and ribs lifting and your armpits lifting. Walk towards your chair to rise. Standing upright, put your left foot under the chair. Step your right leg back for a high lunge. Press down with your left hand and raise your right arm in the air. Bend your right elbow and hold on to the base of your skull. So your right hand is now cupping the base of your skull. Just holding your head in this moment, so we're not doing anything yet. Take the head of your left shin bone forward while you push back through the big toe ball joint, baby toe ball joint of your right leg. So you're just opening up the lunge a little bit by bringing the top of your left shin bone, your tibia, forward a little bit more over the ankle. Maybe it moves over the arch of the left foot. Now keep that and move your belly and ribs back and press your head back. Belly and ribs back, head presses back. Left arm up. Keep pressing your head back into your hand. And then on your exhale, left hand down, right hand down, step together. Let's switch legs. Right foot forward, left leg back. Just come into the general form of the pose. Now weight into your right heel. Push back with your left foot, left big toe ball joint, left heel lifted. Pushing down with your right hand on the chair back. On an in-breath, raise your left arm up, bend your left elbow, and hold your skull. You're not doing anything really at this moment with the left hand, just holding your skull. So you're cupping it, waking up the skull. Now, as you press down into your right heel, take the head of your right shin bone forward. It's moving and tracking forward in space so that your right tibia becomes more vertical. And what that would look like is the right knee and ankle look like they're stacked. So the weight of the right leg is now being supported more fully by the heel. What you might feel is that it requires more strength, right? More muscular strength. On an in-breath, option is to raise the right arm up as you push through the left foot. Move your belly and ribs back. Press your head back into your hands, but don't lift your chin, right? So you just keep your chin level as your head presses straight back. On an exhale, release your right hand down, left hand down, step together, step back for L pose. In L pose, bend your knees, spread your toes, lift your sitting bones up, keep the front of your body lifted and toned. With your left hand pressing down on the chair and your left armpit lifting up, bring your right hand to the base of your skull. Press your head up into your hand, but don't lift your chin. So it's just like a little press back. And when you do it, you will feel toning through the upper back. Release your right hand back to the chair. Push down with your right hand. Keep the right armpit lifting so your belly and ribs stay lifted. Keep breathing. Now bring your left hand to the base of your skull. And lightly press your your head back into your left hand. Now again, you're not trying to lift your chin up and look more forward. Your eyes are still looking down. Your head does not change position. It just presses back into the hand, which is up to the ceiling. And it's a little bit, just a little bit, so that you feel the strength, a little bit of strength and toning come into the upper back. Release your left hand down to the chair, walk into the chair to come out and up and forward. Put your chair, you'll have to figure out where it's going to go for you, but it's at the middle of your mat. And we're going to take a wide stance. So the chair is out in front of me while I've got a wide stance at the middle of my mat. So I know this is a new orientation for many of us in our chair yoga practice. So I'll give you a minute to figure out what direction you're going to face. All right, so you have a wide stance. with the chair in front of your pelvis. Bend your knees a little bit. Now put the weight back into your heels. All right, there's this desire to kind of race forward, like, oh, the chair's in front of us, I'm going there, so we'll start tipping towards it. Settle back into your heels. Keeping your knees bent, push more from your pelvis to your heels, but don't lengthen your legs. Keep your knees a little bit bent. However, push down from pelvis to heels so that you feel your leg muscles tone. Now pull your feet towards one another as you reach your arms up and out. Next exhale, bend your elbows, bring your hands to the base of your skull. Keep squeezing your feet towards one another. Press your head back without lifting your chin. And as you exhale, hinge from your hip crease. Keep your knees bent. Keep pressing your head back as you tip from your pelvis, from your hip joints to come into a forward fold. Put your right hand down on the chair seat. Keep pressing your head back. Bring your right hand to the base of your skull. Use your hand to teach your head to keep pressing back as your left hand goes down to the chair seat. Keep your head where it is on the chair seat. Bend your right knee more to lengthen your left leg. Keep your head where it is. Imagine two hands back there pressing your head back, because your desire will be to do two things. Heavily weight shift forward and drop your head. So see if you can stay back in your heels and keep your head pressing back. Breathe, push with both feet, lengthen both legs. And now weight shift so that you bend your left knee and your right leg extends. Check back in with your head. Continue to work the weight into the heels. So from pelvis to heels, pushing down while your head stays balanced. Lengthen both legs, heel toe your feet together. Bring your hands to your pelvis, in breath and rise up. Okay? All right, take another wide stance. Same thing, a little bit different. You can certainly turn the feet out slightly if in a wider stance you need external rotation. Because the chair is in front of us, our desire will be to weight shift forward, to lean into it. Try to stay back in your heels. Bend your knees a little bit, stay in your heels. In breath, reach up, bring their hands to the base of your skull. Tuck your elbows in this time. So elbows are coming forward in the direction of your nose. Press your head back without lifting your chin. Lift your elbows up and forward fold. Hinge from the hip crease. Keep pressing your head back as you reach from armpits to elbow tips forward. Keep your left hand at your skull. Take your right hand, reach it across your chair on a diagonal towards the left corner. So right hand is reaching diagonally across your chair. Keep your knees bent, push with your feet. Turn your right ribs to the left so you're turning open. Keep pressing your head back. Next breath, turn your ribs back to the chair. Bring your right hand to your skull. Bend your knees, spread your toes, weight into the heels. Push down from your pelvis to your feet. Press your head back and bring your elbows forward in the direction of your nose. Keeping your right hand at your skull, reach your left hand to the chair and work your left hand towards the right corner, the furthest right corner away from you. So the back of the chair seat, right corner, diagonal reach. Push with your feet, push with your left hand, press your head back as you turn your ribs open. Left ribs turning right, head still pressing back without lifting your chin. Breathe. Use an in-breath to turn back to the chair. Put both hands on your chair seat. Heel toe your feet together. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Breathe. Bring your hands to the base of your skull. Breathe. Push with your heels. Press back with your head. Move with your pelvis and come up. Release your arms. All right. Move your chair back to the top of your mat. Take a wide stance to the side of you. So the chair is to the right of me. My right foot is the foot closest to the chair. Turn your left foot in. Turn your right foot all the way open. Reach your arms up and out. Release the hips so your right knee bends. Weight into both heels now. So from pelvis to heels, feel the weight driving down and feel the foundation of your heels. Keep that and take the head of your right shin bone forward over the center of the ankle or the arch of your foot. Keeping your arms out in a T, just your head now, lightly, as if there's another set of hands. Press your head back so it lines up with the back of your pelvis. Turn just your head to look towards your right hand. Turn your head back to looking straight ahead in the direction of your heart. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Lift your head up. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Lift your head up. Bring your right hand to the chair seat, top hand to the sky. Turn your head, look down towards your right hand. Turn your head to look forward in the direction of your chest. Turn your head to look up to the ceiling. Turn your head to look forward in the direction of your chest. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder. Bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Bring your head back to neutral. Push into both feet. Inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Turn your feet parallel. Heel toe your feet together. Transition to your second side. Either turn around or move the chair to your left side. Chair is to the left of me. Left foot is the closest foot to the chair. Turn your right foot slightly in. Turn your left foot all the way open. Take your arms up to the sky. Reach out to a T. Stand and wait in both heels. So feel the weight descending and landing in the heels. Spread your toes out. So the weight that's coming down into your heels from your head, through your heart, through your ribs, through your pelvis, through your legs, all that weight is descending into your heels. Let it move out through the toes. So the toes spread out. Release your front hip. So you're in a knee bend on the front leg. Move the head of your left shin bone forward. So the best of your ability, you're creating a vertical left tibia, left shin bone. So the head of the tibia right underneath your kneecap is stacking over your left heel, ankle, or arch of foot. You're working in that direction. Turn your gaze to look towards your left hand. Turn your head to look back in the direction of your heart. Turn your head to look towards your right hand. Inhale your head back to center, left ear to shoulder. Head lifts up, right ear to shoulder. Head balances on pelvis. Next, exhale, left hand to the chair seat, right hand to the sky. Hopefully, as you move your head in all these directions, look down. You're beginning to feel your habits and desires. There's certain rotations that are tight because you tend not to use them. You tend to be turned another way or turning more into it. Turn your head up to the sky. So hopefully you're feeling where you have freedom and where you have restriction. And through our practices, head back to center, left ear to shoulder. Through our practices, we begin to feel that we have other possibilities. Head to neutral, right ear to right shoulder. Head to neutral. Push with your back foot. Inhale and come up. Lengthen your arms. Heel toe your feet together. Move your chair to the top of the mat. Step back for L pose. Steady, firm legs. Lengthen torso from pelvis to heart. Keeping a tone and a lift to the center of you, reach back through your tail and extend forward through your heart. On an exhale, bring your chin towards your chest. Let your head drop down. Bring your head back to neutral. 2 more times. Head drops down. Head to neutral. Last one. Breathe. Walk to your chair, stand up, turn your chair seat around. Facing your chair with your chair seat looking at you, stand on your left foot, put your right foot up on top of the chair. In breath, raise your arms up, bring your hands to the base of your skull. Feel the weight in your left heel, and then on an exhale, bend your left knee so you plie down. There's a little bit of a plie going on. So left heel weighted, left knee bending, left sitting bone descending. Keep that. Bring your elbows forward, press your head back, move your ribs back, move your belly back. Push with your left heel, push with your right heel, lengthen your left leg, raise your arms up. Exhale, release your arms down, step off the chair with your right foot. Let's stand on the right, left foot on top of the chair. Whole foot on the chair, including the heel. In breath, raise your arms up. On an exhale, bend your elbows. Bring your hands to the base of your skull. Scoop your elbows forward. As you move your belly and ribs back to rest back, press your head back to rest back. It's just a very soft press back, and your hands are the container to help you rest. Pushing with your left heel and your right heel, softly bend your right knee. So the head of your right shin bone is moving forward. So right leg, the leg that's on the ground, is bending. It doesn't have to bend much, just a little bit. Let your right sitting bone drip to the earth. So think of your right sitting bone sinking, descending. Keep that. Continue to press your head back. Press with both feet. Lengthen your legs. In breath, extend your arms up. Exhale, release your arms down. Step off your chair. Turn sideways to your chair. So chair is still to the right of me. Standing on your left foot, pick your right knee up, externally rotate your right leg, and put your right foot on the chair. So right knee is facing in the direction of the chair back. Whole foot on the chair, including every part of the right heel. So your heel is fully supported. Arms up. Bend your elbows to the base of the skull. Press your head back as you tuck your elbows in. Breathe. Keeping your head pressing back, tip towards your bent knee leg. Breathe. Push down now more from your pelvis to your left heel. Keep that, and as you lengthen from your pelvis through your left side waist, stay with your breath and continue to lightly press your head back while your elbows reach not only forward, but up from armpits to elbow tips. So you're beginning to add a little bit of length from armpit to elbow. Push with your feet, inhale and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Turn your right foot forward and then step off the chair, stand in both legs. Switching sides, move your chair to your second side to the left or turn around. Chair to the left of me, left foot, closest foot to the chair. Stand on your right foot, pick up your left knee, turn your left leg open into external rotation and place your left foot up on the chair. Wiggle your left foot until it's all the way on your chair, including your left heel. So the heels are rooted, they're the foundation. And finding and knowing your heels and where they are in space is what allows us to rest back into our experience. In breath, raise your arms up, bend your elbows, hold your head, cupping your hands around your skull. You can even massage the skull as you bring your elbows forward. Press down from your pelvis into both heels, and then bring the head of your left shin bone forward over the left ankle or arch of the foot. And when you do that, when you really work that alignment of the shin bone while the heel roots, oftentimes you'll facilitate a greater groin stretch, a greater what we call hip opener in yoga. Why is a hip opener good? Because we want that circumduction in the hip joint to be fluid so that when we need to, we can race forward And when it's time for us to rest back, our hip joints aren't bothering us. We don't feel aches and pains. So as you press your head back and root into your heels, lift up from armpit to elbow tip, and then tip towards your bent knee leg. Breathe. Go down more like stronger, more stronger. That's bad language, but you know what I mean. Go back, go down with great strength from your pelvis on the right side into your right heel. Feel the descending energy and that the heel is weighting. Move the foot, not in an actual movement, but move the weight out through the foot so that your toes spread out more. Breathe, press your head back. Take your elbows forward in the direction of your nose and then reach from armpit to elbow tips. Breathe, push with your feet, in breath and come up. Exhale and release your arms. So that's a mighty big opening, if you play with all of that, through the side torso. Turn your left foot forward to step it off the chair and stand. Chair back to the top of your mat. We'll take another L pose. As you step back into L pose, just sense if, right away you got heel weight and head alignment. Did that just naturally happen from the practice? Are you starting to sense like, yeah, I feel weight in my heels when I step back into L pose, and I can feel my tendency and my desire now to align my head. Breathe. Take several steps into the chair to rise, standing tall. Keep the chair back facing you. Left foot is going to be a little bit off the chair. Step your right leg back for a high lunge. So left foot is not close to the chair or under it. It's maybe, a handprint away from the chair. Left foot forward, but away from the chair. Keeping your left hand on the chair, you can feel the tendency for the torso to want to be with the chair. Can you feel the lean forward? All right, we're going to work on coming off of the chair. So push more with your back foot. Strongly push down with your left heel. Really push down with it till you feel your left butt muscles turn on. Bring the shin bone on your left leg forward, so the top of it, right underneath your knee, moves forward. Raise your right arm up first, hold your skull. Raise your left arm up, hold your skull. Bring your elbows forward, lift up from armpit to elbow tips. Breathe. Weight shift a lot now as you keep pressing your head back. Weight shift into the left foot. So we are moving forward. Elbow tips are starting to move forward even though head is pressing back. Hinge forward more from the pelvis so that you can pick your right leg up. Left hand can definitely at any point go down and hold on to the chair. Right hand stays at the skull to keep pressing the head back. The other option is that both hands just stay at the skull. Breathe. Keep pressing your head back as you reach down from pelvis to left heel, as you reach out from the right side of your pelvis into your right heel. Extend now from your armpit to your elbow tips just a little bit more. Keep pressing your head back. Bend your left knee, touch down with your right leg, in breath and come up. Exhale and release your arms. Step together. It's pretty advanced to go into Virabhadrasana 3, with a hand at your head. So good job. If it was wobbly and crazy, that's okay. You're learning to keep the relationships, right? So maintaining those relationships, good job. Right foot forward, left leg back. And now again, right foot is away from the chair, which means going towards the chair to find it for stability and support means that you're going to be going forward, which is the opposite of, what we're working on today, right? We're working on resting back. And to rest back, we have to find our heels. And from rooting of the heels, we discover the strength in our legs. All right, so you can keep a hand on the chair to start as you start working in the legs. Push down with your right heel. Push back with your left big toe ball joint. Keep pushing with your right heel until you feel the muscles of your right buttock turn on. That's how much you got to push. Yeah, so, and find the full circumference of the heel, right? You probably felt in the warm-up when we opened our feet, the difference when you opened your foot up, you're like, wow, I have more heel to stand on. So stand on your heel, the whole heel. Option is to raise the left arm up and the right arm. You can keep the right arm on the chair if you need to. Hands to the skull, elbows forward, press your head back, breathe. Move your belly and ribs back, breathe. Keep lifting up from armpits to elbow tips as you begin to shift your torso over your front leg. So yes, we are going forward. We're not racing forward. We're still resting back as we go forward. Push with your right heel more to float your left leg up. If you're going to put a hand on the chair, it would be your right hand. Extend from armpit to elbow tips more as you press your head back, and lengthen and lift from your pelvis to your left heel. And as you push down from your pelvis to your right heel on the ground. Soften your right knee, touch down with your left leg, inhale and come up. Reach your arms up fully in the lunge. Exhale your arms down, step together. All right, keeping the head moving back while you balance is a big thing. So good job taking that cue and bringing it into your body and just being cool with whatever happened. Step your legs out wide with the chair in front of you. Hands to your pelvis. Spread your toes and pull your feet towards one another. Without putting your hands on your head, press your head back. Hinge from your hip crease. Keep pressing your head back so your head does not, your chin doesn't drop to your chest. Bring your hands to the chair seat. On your next exhale, squat. So now you're keeping your head pressing back while your hip joints flex. Yep, so come into a squat, push with your heels, lengthen your legs. We have 2 more of those. Keep your head pressing back as you weight into your heels and flex your legs to come into a squat. So your head's not dropping, that's the dance. Push with your heels to lengthen your legs. You have 1 more. How's your head doing? Breath flowing, flex at the hip, knee, ankle to come into your squat. Head doesn't drop, no flexion at the neck. Push with your heels, lengthen your legs. Turn your feet out a little bit wider, so you're now in external rotation with the feet. Weight shift into the right leg, so the right knee bends. Check in with your head. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh bone. So right forearm resting on right thigh bone. Yep. Stick your butt out a little bit more, press your head back. Lengthen your right leg, move your right hand to the chair, bend your left knee, bring your left forearm to your left thigh bone. Check in with your head. Breathe. Use your left forearm and push down with it so that you can feel the weight in your left heel. Lengthen both legs. You can take a wider stance. You can turn out even more. Left hand to chair seat, right hand to thigh bone. Come up onto the left heel. So left toes are now in the air. So left forefoot is off the ground, left toes are in the air. Stick your butt out. Maybe your right hand goes to the ground. If your right hand is down low, use your right forearm and push your right inner knee back. So your right inner knee, the right top of your shin bone lines up over the center of your ankle or the center of the arch of the foot. Press the head back. Don't let the head drop. Stick your butt out more. Move your heart forward more. Keep pressing your head back so head's not dropping. However, spine might be lowering through extension. Push with your right heel, lengthen your legs. Left foot down on the ground. Move your right hand over, weight shift into your left leg. This time come up on the right heel, so right toes up in the air. Breathe. Come down to the left forearm. Be mindful of your head, the position of your head as you begin to go a little bit further into the shape. So keep pressing down into your right heel. It's the back of the heel. And dragging your right heel to your pelvis as you use your left forearm or left hand to touch the left inner knee to help keep your left inner knee tracking over the center of your ankle or the center of the arch of your foot. Weight in both heels. Let your butt stick out behind you as your heart moves forward. That's what gets you lower, but don't drop your head. Keep your head pressing back. Breathe. Push with your hands, push with your feet, lengthen your legs. Both hands to the chair seat, heel toe your feet together. Head in neutral. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Inhale and come up. Chair to the top of the mat. Hoping your groins are open from that. And you also feel your heels. Step back for L pose. Bend your knees. Breathe. Feel your heels. Notice your skull. Move towards your chair to stand up. Right foot under the chair, left leg back, left knee down towards the mat. Maybe you come into knee all the way down. But wherever you've arrived, so if you're still upright, that's fine. Move your head back, move your belly and ribs back. Put in what we've practiced. Rise tall, switch legs. Left foot forward, right leg back. So rather than leaning forward on this, right, bring your head and your ribs and your belly back over top of your pelvis. Bring your right knee towards the mat or down onto the mat. You get to pick the range here. Head presses back to rise up. One more time each leg. Right leg forward, left leg back. Right hand to the chair, left arm up. Bring your left hand to your skull. Elbow tip forward. Belly and ribs back. Weight your right heel. Push with your left foot. Keep your head moving back as you lower your left knee towards the earth. Doesn't have to get there. Push with your right heel till you feel your right butt turn on stronger. Push with your left foot to lift yourself up. See if you can keep your head in alignment. Step your left leg together. Makes those lunges harder, doesn't it? Yeah, because the head, wants to race around to help you to get up and down. And we're saying, no, just hold where it is. Trust that the heels have it and the strength of you has it without this 9-pound head trying to throw itself around to get you there. All right, so right arm up. Right leg back in the lunge, left leg forward. Head presses back. Breathe. Keep pressing your head back, moving your belly and ribs back. You just sink as low as you feel comfortable. It's not about getting the knee to the mat for today. It's about keeping the head back. Keep pressing your head back, lift yourself back up. Step together when you're up and release your arms. All right, we're coming down. We'll face sideways to the chair. Let's put the left foot forward, the right leg back, right knee down, left knee down. Move the chair out of your way and have a seat on your mat. We're going to come all the way down onto our backs. So we'll be laying down, flat on our backs, knees bent, hamstrings help guide you down. You can hold on to with your hands to get down. And then lay all the way down on your back. Bend your knees. And feet on the floor. Line your heels up with your sitting bones. Line your feet up so that the top of your shin bone, to the best of your ability, stacks on top of your ankle. And now, without tipping your chin, just lightly press your head back as you press your arms down and the head of your arm bones down. Push with your feet and lift your pelvis up into bridge and just breathe. A very light pressing of the head back. However, a very strong rooting of your heels. So even more rooting into the heels. Press down with each finger pad, the base of your wrist, your whole arm, forearm and upper arm, and the arm bone where it comes into the shoulder girdle. Breathe. Reach out through your tail, lower yourself down. Cross your right leg over into figure 4. Draw your left knee into your chest. Now, if you're laying here and you go into figure 4 and your chin goes up to the ceiling, you need to put a pillow underneath your head so your head stays in neutral during these hip openers. Right? So if you feel like your chin goes up like this, right, you're no longer in a neutral head position. So if your chin's up to the ceiling, you just put a pillow from the couch under your head. Extend your left leg up to the sky. Fold your left leg, return your left foot to the floor, push with your left heel and cross your right. Stand on your right foot, cross your left over. Draw your right knee to your chest. And again, this might be your side that triggers a head position change, right? And maybe you didn't sense it on the first side, that your head changed position for your hip joint to be able to move. So if that happened, just come out of the shape, grab a pillow and put it underneath your head. Extend from your right sitting bone to your right heel to lengthen your right leg up. Fold your right leg, return your right foot to the ground. Stand on your right heel, uncross your left leg so you feel both heels on the ground. Open your arms out to a T, work your feet together and your knees together so they're touching. Drop both knees over to the right. Take your right hand to hold your left leg. Anywhere you touch your left leg is fine. And if even reaching for the left leg is awkward, grab your clothing, grab your shorts or your pants and hold on to that. Breathe. Lightly press back through the base of your skull as you turn your ribs first. Your right ribs are going to turn left. Work at the base of the ribs down near the belly area. And as you stay with your breath on every exhale, you just keep turning the rib cage from right to left. And you work from the bottom to the top. So the first turn happens like in the belly area. On another exhale, it happens a little bit into the chest area. Keep working your way up through the rib cage, even into the collarbone. And eventually, as you press your head back and the ribs keep turning, the head will naturally want to follow the ribs. So let that happen. Let your head turn now. So often the head wants to race forward and be the leader. And oftentimes there's not a firm commitment to the foundation. And nor has anything moved through the rib cage area and into the heart. So practicing twists that rise from the foundation and a steady foundation and then move through a rotation of the ribs and then the head moves last is a reminder of how we rest back into the strength that we have in our legs. In breath, everything to center. And now we'll go to the other side. So first take your arms out to a T. Squeeze your legs together. On an exhale, take both knees to the left. And don't be in a hurry. You know, the desire is to just turn the head and look and be done with it. Take your time. Begin with just moving your left hand to your right leg. And it can even grab your clothing. That starts the rotation from left to right. Feel how just reaching across and holding your leg left hand holding the right leg, begins a rotation of the ribs. Keep squeezing your legs together, breathe, and work on exhales. So on exhales, that's when you'll turn, starting at the bottom of the rib cage near the belly area, just encouraging the left ribs to turn to the right, while the right ribs rest back to the earth. Then you just wait for another exhale and then work up near the chest area. Left ribs turning right. Right ribs resting back. Keep squeezing your legs together. Up in the collarbone area, there's ribs. On an exhale, let them turn from left to right so that the right side of the rib cage on the collarbone, up in that top collarbone area, from the right armpit chest, that area, right armpit chest, gets to rest back. Keep breathing, and as you lightly press your head back, eventually on an exhale, your head will want to turn because your ribs have turned. Breathe. Squeeze your legs together. Use an inhale, everything back to center, ribs, legs, head. All right, keep your knees bent, arms down by your side, palms open to the sky. Just space your feet a comfortable distance apart, about the width of your pelvis. Align your head so that your chin, if you were standing upright, your chin would be level. So again, if you're feeling like your chin is lifting up towards the ceiling a little bit, just putting a small blanket, a washcloth, a pillow under your head often will help align your head and also let the muscles that have very strongly held your head, let them rest back, right? Letting them let go for a moment. All right, from the tip of your nose, draw a circle. So as your head rests back in alignment, you're just using the tip of your nose to draw a circle. Change the direction you're drawing the circle. Try to make it a circle. There'll be one part of it that might have a harder edge than a curve, and you want to notice where that is and slow down as you approach it and try to smooth it out. All right, you got some circles going. Hold steady. Keep pressing back through your skull and swallow. Let's make the infinity symbol. It's also called a Mobius strip. It's also described as a figure 8 laying on its side. So on each cheekbone is the circle-ish oval shape of the figure 8 laying on its side. And just keep drawing it. Start syncing your breath to this movement, so your nose is leading it. Reverse the direction that you're drawing your infinity symbol with the tip of your nose. Do it one more time. And hold steady. And now from the back of your head, your skull, the place we've been working a lot today at the occipital ridge, the occiput, feel it. You have a tendency to, just like in the heel, we have a tendency to be like more in one part of our heel and one foot than the other. In our head, when we rest back, we have a tendency to be on one side of the skull more than the other. Can you feel that? Can you feel the tip, the twist, the turn that you prefer through the neck? And when you bring your head to equal weight, it may feel like you have to work a little bit to be there on one side, because that's the side where maybe you're locked long. So to the best of your ability, balancing at the base of your skull, now make your infinity shape and drive it from the back of your skull. So the skull at the back of you, as you rest back, is leading the drawing of the figure 8. Reverse the direction that you're drawing it. And again, remember that you have a preference of how you like your head to be. Your skull's even kind of formed that way, right? It might feel more bulbous and on one side and flatter on another. So you're getting to know the shape of your own head as you make these figure eights. Move fully through them. Don't avoid the mountain. Climb the mountain, that big bump, if you feel it. Go down into the valley if you've got a flat spot. All right, finish there. Swallow. Balance your head. Lightly press back through it. And now swallow again. Feel where your tongue hits the upper palate of your mouth. And make your figure eights from that place where you swallowed, where your tongue touches the upper palate of your mouth. That's the closest we can tactily feel ourselves at the top of our spine. Reverse the direction of your figure eights that you're making from deep inside of you. So again, if you're like, where am I doing this from? Swallow, feel your tongue hit the upper palate of your mouth. And that's the closest without gagging ourselves that we're going to be able to feel the top of the spine, C1, C2. And that's where these movements are coming from, of how our head balances on top of our pelvis and how the weight of our head is transmitted to our heels. This is this balance point that we're playing with. All right, hold steady. Breathe. Stretch your legs out. Bring your legs together. Squeeze them together and reach through the legs from pelvis to toes, even point at the ankles. On an in-breath, raise your arms over your head. Take a big reach, huge stretch. So reaching from your pelvis all the way down your strong legs, make them longer. And now reach from your pelvis all the way up through your torso, out through your fingertips, bigger. Use an exhale and bring it all into your chest. Tuck your knees, hug in. Even lift your head, pull up. Everything hugs in. And then release down. Lay your legs back down. Rest your arms by your side. Turn your palms open and close your eyes. Feel the back of your heels touching the earth. Feel the base of your skull touching the earth. From these two endpoints, heels and skull, allow the rest of your body, your ribs, your arms, your back waist, your pelvis, your thighs, your back of your knees, your calves. Allow every part of you to rest back.